So how did the Hazbin cast die? We don't have any solid answers on the majority of the cast, but we do have old canon, popular fan theories, and delusions to help us guess. So with that being said, trigger warning for pretty much everything. Let's go!
My name is Baxter.
Starting with Baxter, the newest and bluest Hazbin hotel resident. Fun fact, Baxter has been around since the pilot, and was actually the first character to have official merchandise before appearing in the actual show. If you bought this pin during the pilot days, you're not only Baxter's #1 fan, but you're also sitting on a pile of actual gold. This pin is so expensive. It's so tiny too, like what the fuck? Anyways, because Baxter has been around since the pilot, we actually do know what his death was supposed to be. In this old 2019 live stream that you can only access through a link on the Hazbin Hotel wiki, Viv said that Baxter was originally planned to have died on the Titanic in 1912. Yeah, this was later changed to avoid being insensitive, since, you know, tying fictional characters to real life tragic events and people isn't the best idea.
You know, time period and thematically, it makes sense to be the Titanic, but I'm not saying it's the Titanic anymore just because, like, you know, that was a real event and people did actually die.
But with that being said, according to newer pilot lore, which may or may not still be true, Baxter died by drowning on a non-specific boat of the same style.
Huh? He was on the fictional equivalent of the Titanic, I guess.
Which means Baxter died on the Titanic 2.0! Okay, we're kidding. Baxter dying on the Titanic imposter could still be the case, since they did heavily draw inspo from Jack the Ripper for Sir Pentious' backstory. Although, part of me thinks they'll make up something entirely new for his death. And if they do, we personally believe that Baxter could have died while doing deep-sea research in a submarine. Hear us out. First of all, his basement dweller lab looks like the inside of a sub, and drowning that far down underwater would also explain why he's an anglerfish specifically. Now, we know a lot of people theorize that Baxter is trans because only female anglerfish have lures, and we do love that theory a lot. I definitely don't hate it. But we think the light on his head could be intentionally mimicking the spotlight submarines have. Oh, or could mimic this since he's a smart guy who has smart ideas.
Smart boy!
Moving on to Niffty, all we really have to go off of is this old sketch of human Niffty Viv drew all the way back in the pilot days. This image is interesting because Niffty looks worried while saying, "Are they dead? Did I kill them?" Before writing this video, we heard a lot of people say that Niffty was just an abused housewife who snapped and murdered her husband, which led to her later being shot and killed by the police. And for a while, we thought that was a fact because so many people acted like it was. But there is literally no source to our knowledge that backs up that claim at all. So it's just a theory. Niffty does have 3 blood splatters on her dress, which could represent gunshot wounds. And she does have skills associated with 1950s housewives. So we can definitely see why so many people jump to that conclusion. This image is old canon, so who really knows what's true anymore, but man, I really can't shake the feeling that Niffty definitely killed more than one person. No matter what's true though, I definitely think she stabbed her victims because obviously. This drawing is also so eerie to me because human Niffty seems to be shocked at her own actions, while Hell Niffty jumps at the chance to stab just about anyone. Maybe she still could have been shot by the police, or maybe she was forcibly given a lobotomy after she was captured and deemed mentally unwell. Yeah, Niffty dying from a failed lobotomy is one of the most agreed upon theories for her death, and we can see why. Not only were lobotomies a popular procedure to do in the 1950s, but if Niffty did get one, it would explain her erratic behavior and would explain why she only has one eye. Since, super fun fact, the procedure was commonly done through the eye. Ouch! Oh my god. I'm sorry for the diagram. Now, we don't hate this theory at all, but I think it sort of takes agency and emotional depth away from Niffty. Like, she could have easily descended into madness on her own, especially since she already snapped and murdered someone seemingly out of the blue. Well, as far as we know. Maybe Miss Girl had her reasons for killing 3 people. Maybe they deserved it. I think they did. Knowing Niffty, they definitely did deserve it.
I'm ready to punish some bad boys.
She's innocent, Your Honor. She only kills roaches. Also, Husk did suspiciously say we don't even want to know what her deal is. So that makes me think we shouldn't write her off too quickly. Especially because we personally believe Niffty was an overlord at some point. We gotta watch out for her because she's definitely got some intelligence in there.
Wanna play with the kitty?
Yeah.
The fuck is this?
But alright, since we talked about Niffty, we might as well talk about Husk. And spoilers, we know literally nothing about his death. Well, besides the fact that based on his old Instagram handle, he died in the year 1975. Cause yeah, Hazbin characters used to have Instagram accounts. As we know, Husk is a gambler and an alcoholic, so most people jump to the idea that he died of alcohol poisoning or was killed after he couldn't repay his debts. Both of these theories are certainly believable, but we want to take it a step further. Ew. I think after gambling all his money away, Husk fell into a deep depression, became a husk of his former self, and quit the game of life by either drinking himself to death or by jumping from a high place. This theory could explain why he has wings, since hell is pretty fucked up like that. I admit, at first, I didn't believe this theory because to me, it didn't explain why Husk then became an overlord in hell, since he seemingly felt some type of regret before he died. But then we remembered that's just how the vicious cycle of addiction works. Hell gave Husk the second chance to gamble, and he chose to repeat his mistake, which he paid for later. Sort of like how Vox repeated his human life and nearly died leading a cult again. Vox, third time is a charm, buddy. Don't do it again. Next time you throw a party, maybe invite nobody so you don't end up killing everybody. Anyways, Husk definitely could have easily died during a magic act fuck-up, but based on his self-loathing and general disregard for his own life,
I wasn't really mad. I'm just not worth saving.
I have a feeling a Husk backstory is going to be extremely depressing and will make us cry.
I think this is yours.
But speaking of depressing, Angel most likely died from a drug overdose in 1947. The lyrics in the song Addict are literally, despite having overdosed and ending up comatose. And this old bio card from the pilot stated he died in 1947, so that's pretty straightforward. Although that card and Addict are pilot materials, so Angel's death could have definitely changed since then. Blake Roman and Christina Alabato, Angel and Cherry's new voice actors, did recently perform this song at Level Up, which we were lucky enough to see live, so maybe Addict is still canon. Usually the cast is pretty careful about referencing the pilot, so to me it feels super intentional that they chose to perform it. But that's just us reading into it. Also, given the fact that Angel obviously still has a drug problem in hell, makes the probability of him dying from an overdose pretty believable.
A place where I can get high and not have to think about how much it hurts.
We know he grew up in a mob family and that he killed his father, so I can definitely see Angel coping with drugs.
And we've almost been able to find all of Angel's drug stashes. Almost.
Especially since poison is a strong theme that follows him.
I brought cookies!
Next, we've seen no one mention this, but based on old pilot lore, Sir Pentious died in 1888, which is the same year he witnessed Jack the Ripoff murder that young girl. For the millionth time, the pilot lore could be outdated, but if it isn't, the fact that he went to hell for sitting on that information for only 1 year is a little crazy, right? Well, I guess not, since he knew exactly who that guy was. That's true. But I don't know, I was just under the impression that he held on to that secret for decades. But now that I'm thinking about it, he did seem like he died pretty young. Like, yeah. I feel like, yeah, he doesn't seem that old. It makes sense, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? Anyways, as far as his actual death goes, Sir Pentious could have died from a snake bite, which could explain his demon form.
I'm not that slimy.
From an invention malfunctioning, cause that shit would happen to him. Or, based on all of these jokes, Sir Pentious could have felt so guilty about not speaking up within that year, he chose to take the highway to hell, if you know what I mean.
Nobody catch me. Damn it.
If his pilot death year isn't canon anymore, I could easily see Penn dying from old age. But if he really did die the same year he saw Mark the Murderer, we're leaning more towards his death being, purposeful.
Why would you do that?
Trust me, I've done this before. You're gonna want the vomit sack.
Moving on, we don't have a confirmed death year for Cherry Bomb, but since she is clearly 80s themed, I'm gonna guess she died in, 1654. Okay, we're kidding. She probably died in the 1980s. Cherry's main motifs are also bombs, so I don't think it'd be crazy to say she died in some sort of explosion. Like, her hair literally looks like a bomb exploding. Maybe she even got shrapnel in her eye, which would explain why she only has one. Previously, we had a very hard time guessing what the exact circumstances were that led to Cherry's death. But when I recently speculated about it, a few people mentioned that Cherry could have been an activist who died from police bombing. My only critique on this theory is that Cherry is Australian, and from my research, Australia didn't have many overtly violent protests in the 80s. Hazbin also doesn't have to follow real life events, but we just thought we'd mention it. In Attic, Cherry was hinted at having a toxic boyfriend named Izzy, so maybe he had something to do with her death, but we literally know nothing about him, so it's hard to say. My second best guess is that when she was alive, she probably built a faulty bomb and it accidentally detonated or something. I don't know. Overall, I feel like Cherry is such an interesting character who often gets overlooked. Like, I've never even seen anyone guess what she even did to get sent to hell in the first place. So if you have any theories, let us know in the comments. We're nosy bitches and want to know. Because besides being a rowdy party animal who might be an arsonist, she seems like a normal, well-adjusted person.
That's nice, Niffty. Good job.
Ooh, if you're enjoying this video so far, feel free to give us money. Okay, seriously, check out our ACG merch store and follow us on eBay to catch our special He Said Yes trading card sale. We promise we draw other characters besides just Alistair.
Liar.
Velvet is super tricky because we don't know how or when she died, so everything about her human life is up for speculation. Personally, based on her fashion choices, her profession, and the fact Vox called her a new overlord, we're guessing Velvet died in the early 2010s at the latest. As for her death, I just have a hunch she died in a freak accident. Canonically, Velvet is a doll, so maybe she died while getting plastic surgery, or maybe she fell from a building like she did in episode 8. I could also see her death being a commentary on social media in general, so maybe she was dismembered by a creepy stalker, or died by doing a stupid stunt for views. We're leaning more towards the plastic surgery or falling route, but either way, whatever her death is, I think it'll highlight how egotistical and irresponsible she probably was. Also, I know some people think she could have died during the Salem witch trials because of her witchy theming and witchy activities, but also keep in mind witchcraft still exists today. She could have easily been an Etsy witch on the side. We don't know.
You're fucking joking.
But moving on to another egotistical overlord, next we have Valentino.
Well, this just got interesting.
A Hazbin artist from the pilot days offhandedly mentioned that they think Val died in the 1970s, and that's all we really have to go off of.
I'm from fucking Florida. Ow!
Val is a moss sinner, and moss are obviously attracted to light, so I think Val died while chasing fame and power, sort of like Vox did. His actual death could have gone like a million different ways, but based on this shot in season 1, I biasly think it was fire related. Get it? Because moth to a flame. A lot of people think that Valentino was also probably a pimp when he was alive, so we've heard theories about him dying due to one of his victims lashing out, or being murdered due to a bad business deal he ended up in. We don't hate the theory that Valentino was possibly abused in life and then became an abuser in hell, although the fact he seems to have zero remorse for anything he's currently doing, the fact he casually treats people like objects, and the fact he came to hell with a pre-installed pimp wing coat situation, definitely makes us think he's been an abuser for a long ass time. Honestly, I bet in his pursuit of fame, he abused and victimized a lot of people until one of them came back to bite him in the ass, and possibly light a fire in his poorly constructed club. Yes, I'm still on the fire thing. And that theory may have been inspired from the scene in Addict. Come on, Hazbin, blow up Valentino. Or his business in season 3. Please. Did y'all hear something, or? Anyways, moving on to a character we hope never dies. Okay, obviously Mimsy died in the 1920s or 30s, but again, the circumstances that led to her death are unknown. Personally, we think she got into trouble, as she does, and since Alistair potentially died before her, no one was there to help her clean up her mess for once. As a result, someone seeking revenge attacked her and then kindly left her for dead in the bayou. Our theory could explain why she has what looks like a teeth pattern on her dress, and you know, from alligators partially eating her, but that's just our theory, which we only partially believe. Once, I saw someone theorize that maybe the reason why Mimsy looks exactly like her human self is so that anybody she wronged on Earth could easily track her down in hell. And I love that idea, and I really hope it's true, because it would be funny as fuck. And no shade, she probably deserved it.
Hey, watch it.
Confession, I read a really sad fanfic once where Mimsy died before Alistair, and I still really hope that's the case. Mostly because I would eat up that angst so hard. Like, imagine Alistair blaming himself for not being able to prevent Mimsy's death. It could sort of explain why he doesn't seem to mind that she takes advantage of him from time to time. Also, read this fic, it's really good. You're welcome.
Finally. Took you long enough.
Alright, we're almost at the end of this list, so we're only gonna briefly mention the next 3 characters since they could easily be entire videos by themselves. Starting with Vaggie, she used to have a death year and backstory, but based on a recent statement from Viv, Vaggie is not human because just like every exorcist, she's confirmed not to be a direct descendant of Adam, so she's never lived a human life. Cause I'm pretty sure in Hazbin's lore, all humans descend from Adam, you know, the original dick.
All of mankind came from these fucking nuts!
Are the exorcists Adam's direct descendants?
But, no.
Also, if she did die, landed Heaven's Exorcist army and was renamed by Adam, why would she not revert back to her human name when trying to pick a new one for the entirety of season 2?
Oh, Anastasia.
Next, Rosie is the leader of Cannibal Town, which is described in the Hazbin Hotel playbill as a town where a collective of sinners who died in the 1910s formed a community. Could Rosie be a sinner who theoretically, I don't know, died of natural causes and went to hell because she killed and ate her own husband?
Sure, why not?
But I personally think Rosie is tied to a larger secret in hell, which we can't possibly cover in this video. So because of that, we don't have a lot of thoughts about what her actual death could be. If she even died on Earth.
Are you serious?
Yeah, okay.
But moving on to Carmilla, if we consider her ballet theming, and the fact that her daughters are named Clara and Odette, which are both leads in popular ballets that originated in the 1880s, we can jump to the conclusion that she may have died somewhere around that time period. We don't know a whole lot about Carmilla besides the fact that she has kids and a heavily implied dead husband, but we do know sinners can't have kids in hell. Which means she either died on Earth with her family, fell from heaven and took her kids with her, or maybe adopted them in hell later, I don't know. But the 2 most popular theories are, number 1, Carmilla and her evil kids, I guess, died in some sort of accident together and went to hell. And number 2, she's a fallen angel, which is honestly the one we believe the most. I mean, come on, she just looks like a fallen angel, like her horns are literally fake, and her kids' horns look fake. They're not fooling anyone. We know what you are, Carmilla. You're not slick.
What the hell?
Lastly, the rest of the overlords are equally just as mysterious, so if you have any guesses for their deaths, let us know in the comments below. We could sit here and theorize about them forever because we genuinely have no decent guesses. Wait. Maybe Zestial could have got bitten by a spider, and that's why he's Spider-Man in hell? I think that's correct. He's hell Spider-Man, guys. Yeah. he's not even Spider. I guess he would be Spider-Man or Man-Spider. He's Man-Spider. That Smosh song, Man-Spider? Because he can turn into a whole spider. Spider-Man can't do that.
Man-Spider!
Spider-Man! Oh, shit.
So he's Man-Spider. Yeah. Zestial's Man-Spider. But we tricked you. We ain't done yet. Cause it's time for our honorable mentions, Vox and Alistair. You thought we were gonna go this entire video without mentioning Alistair? Who do you think we are? Anyways, we obviously already know how these 2 died because we saw their pathetic deaths in the show. But did you know we actually know the exact years they died? Alistair's death year was confirmed back in the pilot days as 1933, and then was reconfirmed as canon last year through this box lunch baseball tee of all things. Vox's death year was confirmed as 1952, also through merch. First through this damn baseball tee again, and then through this stunning varsity jacket. And guys, it's been months since these came out, and I'm still waiting on the Hazbin baseball AU. Why hasn't anyone cooked it up yet? Come on guys, get to drawing. Please, don't make me draw it. I don't have time for that. Okay, we're really glad to have some confirmed death years. Although, I really wish we knew exactly how old characters were when they died. I mean, the leaked audition sheets that may or may not be real stated that Vox was 50 and Alistair was 40, but I feel like those ages were changed during development.
You were a handsome young man.
Huh?
Oh, also, Alistair dying alone with no witnesses, besides someone who is probably going to cover up his murder so no one can find him. And Vox dying during a public broadcast surrounded by people feels so poetic to me. We could write a whole video about this topic, and maybe we will one day. Don't fucking try us, bitch. We're not above making hour-long YouTube videos. You do not know what I'm capable of. But which theory did you like the most, and do you have any of your own? Let us know in the comments below. And just remember, to dream is to expand your imagination and to create new reality. Anything's possible, and things don't have to make sense. See you in our next video. Bye.